From the past 2 months, what we are seeing in the Manipur, that there is an ethnic conflict in the state, and the state government and the union government had not taken any concrete step. And in such situation, it's high time to take suitable step to end this ethnic conflict. Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu, and today we are going to discuss an important topic, and the title of today's topic is Manipur Violence and Ethnicity of Zo Tribe. So this topic is important from GS2 perspective. Moving to the previous day question, who among the following had introduced secure SCO? So your answer is Narendra Modi. Moving to the points of discussion part, first of all we will discuss the news. What is the conflict? Who are the Zo people? Different perspective on the origin of Zo, the Chin homeland, Zo reunification, practice question for prelims and mains. Moving to the news part, which is Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramanthanga had asked for the peaceful resolution in the state of Manipur, and on which day he had asked? So on 5th of July he had asked that there should be peace in the state of Manipur. And when he had tweeted this thing, so he had tweeted this thing when the opposition party of Mizoram, which is Zoram People's Movement, had said that there should be Zo reunification in the state and in the whole country. And because of this, the Mizoram Chief Minister has said that there should be peaceful resolution in the state of Manipur. So moving to the next slide, which is what is conflict? So we all know that there are different kind of conflicts going in Manipur. So it is more than ethnic conflict. So there are other reasons involved also. So first reason is ethnic conflict. So there is ethnic conflict between Meitei community and the Kuki-Zomi tribe. So here the conflict erupted when the Manipur State High Court has said that there should be ST status given to the Meitei people, and it had asked just the recommendation. Currently there is no ST status for the Meitei people, and because of that the Kuki-Zomi people protested against it. So this is the ethnic conflict. The second is agriculture and the conflict of state and non-state. So here so many tribals are involved in the shifting cultivation, which is also known as zoom cultivation. And in that cultivation, people grow their crop in one place, and from season to season they change their place. And because of this thing, they were given the non-state status. So this is also one of the reason for the conflict. This third reason is the Naga factor, a fight of resources. So here we are seeing that two communities are largely involved, which is Meitei community and other are Kuki-Zomi tribe. So why here Naga is absent and it has taken neutral stance? Because it is believed that, Nagas and Meiteis are the proper resident and original inhabitants of the Manipur, whereas the Kukis are seen as outsiders and they are fled from the Myanmar and Bangladesh. So this is also the reason. The fourth reason is othering and the Kuki identity. So we have already discussed that, Nagas and Meiteis are believed that they are the original inhabitants of the Manipur. On the other hand, Kukis are not considered as the original inhabitants of the Manipur. And there was also a rise of nationalism, Meitei kind of nationalism, and because of that they said, this land belonged to the Meitei, and because of that the Kukis are treated as outsiders. So these are the reasons for the conflict. Moving ahead, who are the Zo people? So we have already discussed in the few previous classes that who are the Kuki-Zomi tribes. So here another theory came, and it is believed that China was a land of many ethnic tribes. And because so many civilization came and went, and because of the migration and with time so many people migrated from one region to another region. And China was also a place where so many Mongolid race existed. And Kuki-Zomi tribes are regarded from the Mongolid race. And from that thing, this theory has emerged that they have erupted from the China and they have migrated from the China. So it is believed that they have migrated from the China, and they are not just a single tribe. In Kuki-Zomi tribe, there are so many tribes involved, which is known as Paite, Kuki, Zo. So they are the group of tribes, not just a single tribe. So this is a brief introduction about the Zo people. And there is also constant tussle for their nomenclature. Because of the migration, there is a tussle, and because of that they could not establish their solid identity. So this is the brief intro of the Zo people. Moving ahead, which is different perspective on the origin of Zhou. We have already discussed that it is also a theory that they have migrated from the China and they belong to the Mongoloid race. So what are other different perspective for their origin? So Womson, who is a scholar, said that Indo-Burman people were known as the Zhou. So this is also one of the theory. And the second theory is that in 862 AD, Fan Chou, who was a diplomat of the Tang dynasty of China, had said that there was a dynasty exists, Tang dynasty, and the chief of that dynasty was called Zhou. So this is also one of the theory. T.H. Levin, who was the political officer during Lushai expedition 1871 to 1872, and he said that during the encounter of various tribes, the generic name was given to whole tribe and which is known as Zhou tribe. So this is also one of the theory. Moving ahead. So what are the other theories? So there is also a cave theory, and so many legends of ethnic experts believe that they have originated from the Chinglung, Singlung, Khur, Khurpai, Kuptbui, Khor and Pak. So they have originated from this cave and they have given different names according to their clans. On the other hand, the most important theory which is believed by many scholars is Israel origin and lost tribes. So here it is believed that, as you know that they are considered as the original inhabitants of the Lushai hills, and where it is located you have to answer this in the comment section. So the Lushai means that 10 tribes, and in this there was a plunder in the northern Israel by Assyrian, and in this so many tribes, the 10 tribes is scattered and they have lost, and among them Zhou was one of them. So this is also one of the theory. Moving ahead. The Chin homeland. So we have already discussed the Kuki homeland and Jalingam and the land of freedom. So this is also similar kind of thing, because Chin is also one of the community which consists of the Zhou tribes. So this is on the, what you can say, in the name of the Kuki land, and it is very similar to the Chin homeland. So here Chin Hills is located in northwestern Myanmar and it is home to many Zhou community. And it is believed that they just not settled in India, they also settled in Myanmar and Bangladesh, and so many community collectively known as Zhou, which are Chin, Kuki, Mizo, Lushi, Zomi, Paite and other community, they are collectively known as Zhou. Moving to the next slide, which is, so what are the feuds between and what are the reason for their migration? So because of the constant feud between various tribal chiefs, they have migrated from one part to another part. On the other hand, there are other reasons also. In 2021, we know that in Myanmar there was a military crisis, and because of that, so many Zhou people from Myanmar moved to the Mizoram area. So this is also a reason for their migration. On the other hand, there was a nationalism movement in Mizoram. And at what time this nationalism movement erupted in Mizoram? So it erupted in 1960. And in that movement, so many Zhou people migrated to Manipur from Mizoram. So this is also one of the theories that these people have migrated to Manipur. So it is considered that they are not original inhabitant of Manipur. They have migrated from China, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Mizoram. So because of that, so many Metis people are protesting and they are saying that they are outsiders. Moving ahead. So what is Zhou reunification? Because we have earlier discussed Kuki land, Chin homeland. So this new term has been erupted. So what is this? So whatever happening in Manipur, and because of that crisis, ethnic conflict, the people of Mizoram, especially the leaders of Zhou community, have asked for the Zhou reunification. And they have asked that all these Zhou people who are residing in other parts of the country, especially in Tripura, Mizoram, Manipur, they should reunite. And they have also asked for the reunification from the Myanmar and Bangladesh as well. But currently few people are saying that at least the people who are residing in India, they should reunite. And this all support and this all demands are supported by all the Mizoram people, those who belong to the Zhou community, and the chief minister of Mizoram and the opposition party have also asked that they will also back this thing that Zhou people should be united and there should be reunification of the Zhou. And they have also supported the demand of the tribals in Manipur that there should be separate administration for the tribals. So these are the problems which are going in Manipur. and there is an organization which is called Zoro Reunification Organization, in short, which is called as Zoro. So these are the organizations which are working towards this direction, and they are asking that there should be separate administration for all the tribals and especially for the Kuki-Zomi tribes. So this is the current situation of the Manipur, and today's what we are seeing that this situation is not just limited to Manipur. It has been extended to other parts of the India and other parts of the world also, because it has extended to Myanmar, Bangladesh also, because so many people from Myanmar and Bangladesh are also expressing their concern regarding this community and regarding this tribe. Moving to the next part, which is question part, practice question for prelims. So here your question is, consider the following statement regarding Article 3. We will discuss that why we are discussing Article 3 here, because the Chief Minister of Mizoram had said that there is a provision in Article 3 that there should be separate state. So they have asked that under Article 3 there should be separate state for all the Kuki-Zomi people. So here the question is related to Article 3. Your statements are, under it states can alter their boundaries. Under it, Parliament can change the name of any state. Under it, Parliament can form a completely new state by separating the territory from any state. And here they are asking the correct statement, and your options are only 1, only 2, all 3, none. So you have to answer this in the comment section. Moving to the mains part. So your mains question is, cultural difference and ethnic conflicts are important issues shaping international politics, discuss. So here what you have to do, you have to take 3 columns: intro, body and conclusion. So here you have to identify the keywords. So what are the keywords here? Cultural differences and ethnic conflicts. So these 2 words you have to define here in intro part, and in body what they are asking, important issues shaping the international politics. So here you have to discuss not just India case, that there are so many ethnic conflicts happening in Manipur and other parts of the India. You have to also discuss the Myanmar case, USA case, France case, and there are so many conflicts because of the cultural differences and the ethnic conflicts. So here you have to mention all the states and all the countries, whatever you remember at that point of time, and how they are shaping the international politics. Because of whatever happening in India, Myanmar is also getting affected, Bangladesh is also getting affected, China is also getting affected. So these things are not just limited to India. So many international organizations, so many other countries are also involved here. So this is just a simple case of India. Likewise, in French also, we have seen that recently a Algerian boy was killed because he belongs to different race or different origin. So here that not only France was involved, Algeria was also involved. So this is not just shaping one country, it is shaping all over the international politics. And on it, so many UN resolutions have been also passed. So here you have to mention all these things. And in conclusion, you have to write in a very positive way that how these things are proceeding in a positive way also, because these things have not just the negative impact, they have also the positive impacts. So you have to give a very balanced conclusion. I hope you like this lecture. If you have any queries related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.